13 hours away from kickoff. How are the fans feeling? I'm here in Bermondsey with some Italian fans, some English fans, to see how they're dealing with last-minute nerves.
Well, away from the Euros, Wimbledon has a new champion. Ash Barty says it's better than she ever imagined after taking the title for the first time.
Good morning. It's a busy day of sport ahead, but what does the weather hold in store? I'll have a full forecast for you in around about a quarter of an hour.
So yes, as Matt says, 13 hours to go, or as we call it conventionally on a Sunday, 7 o'clock. It is Sunday the 11th of July, a date that will go down in history as the day England took on Italy in the final of the European Championship.
Millions of England fans are waking up this morning with the hope that finally the men's team could lift their first major trophy since 1966.
In the build-up to the game, the Queen, the Duke of Cambridge and the Prime Minister have all sent messages of support. Ollie Foster reports from Wembley. We've lost Austin. He's doing a kind of reverse ventriloquy act there.
I know.
You see
Maybe
the
it was
lips moving, but can't hear his voice. That's how excited he is.
Yeah, the excitement. He just couldn't get his words out. Exactly. Oh, well, let's hop now from Wembley to Rome, where our correspondent Lucy Williamson is for us. Now, Lucy, the Italians haven't had to be as patient as England fans. They haven't had to wait 55 years for a major final. But there is presumably plenty of excitement there too.
Yes, absolutely. It's a bit early for the fans here in Piazza del Popolo, but make no mistake, this is a formidable match. Two big footballing nations, both with passionate footballing culture, both of whom think they invented football.
Found a way to take his mind off the football. He's preparing to fly to the edge of space today. The British businessman and his Virgin Galactic crew will take off.
Parts of the United States are braced for more record-breaking temperatures, having already endured the hottest June on record. Death Valley in California hit a high of 54.4 degrees Celsius.
Almost 7:15. That brings you up to date with all of the other stuff in the news. But of course, one thing dominating, as I say, our conversation all morning on breakfast, and it is the football. And how about this? England 4, Italy 1.
Would be a good one. I'd support that.
I'm not as optimistic as that, if I'm being entirely honest. It is a handy summary, 4-1.
5 Bedfordians are of Italian descent after thousands moved there during the 1950s to manufacture bricks. Tonight, their descendants will be making a wall of sound.
John Ironmonger has been to the town, which is going to be celebrating tonight, whatever the result.
There's a possibility that the final will pass here in Bedford with civilised, quiet celebrations. But it's unlikely. That's because Bedford is like the little Italy of England. Around 1 in 5 people here are Italian, and everyone apparently is a football fan. Italia! 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 Tonight's match will be a culture clash that Joanne from England and her Italian restaurateur husband Alfonso are only too sure of.
It's going to be Italy. No, it's Italy. England. Remember, we've had this conversation before.
They've invited me to the Mama Concetta pizzeria to see how easily one family from 2 famous footballing nations can get along. Joe, you're a sort of English rose among thorns here, aren't you?
Yeah. Definitely a rose.
Do you think you can? Is he going to be unbearable?
He will. He will be unbearable.
I wouldn't dare.
He will.
I wouldn't dare.
Best of Italy. I can't talk too much when I'm eating.
But because of the concentration of Italians and being in Bedford, it's so important, this game. We're both in the final. It's the perfect final, and it can go either way. So that's how we've got to see it.
And you'll take it on the chin if England win?
I'm going to have to take it on the chin.
On Ironmonger reporting there. What a terrific collection of voices.
Well, let's go now to another place which knows very well how to enjoy a football tournament, the Kirby Estate in Bermondsey in London. And Matt Graveling is there for us now. It looks stunning, Matt. There's hardly anywhere that's not covered in flags. It's brilliant.
2 minutes past 7. Let's pause and have some weather, I think. Helen is here. More. Absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was terrific. That was an enjoyable penalty shootout.
How do you do that? It can't just be basic makeup that we use. It must be something more specialist, right?
Yeah, so it's and I need to rein it in because I've got to be up for work. So I'll just celebrate as much as I can this afternoon.
Oh, excellent. Oh, well, fantastic, Rachel. It was great to speak to you and absolutely incredible transformations there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed listening to that conversation. You know what? I've had a big, bold editorial thought.
Ooh.
I reckon in a minute we should talk about the football again.
Oh, yeah,
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Oh, shall we do that? Is it controversial to go to, football it is?
I think we could do another hour and a half of football. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
They started back in Russia in 2018 with the media, when they really made a concerted effort to kind of get the fans and the media back on side, and the players and the media. I think the relationship had been broken a little bit. So they started a media versus player darts, whoever was doing the press conference.
Relatively new thing, isn't it? And it looks from the videos like one heck of a setup.
Purpose, incredible facility. I can't speak highly enough of all of the staff and the people that have looked after us over the past few weeks as well. So if any of them are watching, I hope they hear that, because I think the way the media have been welcomed in reflects the whole mood around the place. Unicorns, inflatable pizza slices, but they've also got steam rooms, spa, those kind of things.
Just anticipating, but I'm very grateful.
And we also saw this year killer whales. I know that Declan Rice particularly enjoyed those. We saw some WWE slams with them, him and Mays, that they were kind of playing volleyball and stuff with. So yeah, you name it, it was within the camp. It was, but I think that kind of reflects it. Unicorns were in Russia in 2018, and I think it's just all part of this light-hearted stuff. And if you haven't seen Bukayo Saka, on your face.
Marvellous. Excellent. Talk us through, we were seeing some pictures of you doing your thing.
Far away from Wembley, it's about 15, 20 minutes away. So I will head there probably around midday, 1 o'clock-ish, kind of going to makeup and all that jazz into the TV compound, meet everyone there, go through things. My role today, I'm pitchside reporter, and we've got an hour and 40 minutes of build-up. We're on air from 6:20 on BBC One tonight. So there's two reporters, myself and Gabby Logan. Pitchside, I'll be delivering the team news, player in the starting 11, around an hour and 15 minutes before. Win or lose, I'll be one of the first people that they see. I'll do all of the player interviews and the manager interviews and stuff. So hopefully one of the first people, well, I will be, to interview hopefully the Euros winning manager and winning goal scorer and the like.
Fingers crossed, as you say. My fingers are crossed, your fingers are crossed. There are millions of fingers crossed. Yeah, and faces clenched. Kelly, it's a joy to talk to you. It's one of those pinch yourself days, isn't it? We appreciate you coming on breakfast. Have a good day.
And spoilt with this summer of sport, haven't we? Football has dominated, but what a cracker at the women's Wimbledon yesterday. Gavin.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge day at Wimbledon today as well. Just before the football, you could say this afternoon, the Venus Rosewater dish has a new name on it after Ash Barty's arrest tomorrow. Dutchman Bauke Mollema won the fourth within the cut-off time. But he's still the best part. Of course, not long to go now.
Absolutely.
I know. I'll tell you something. I mean, I'm wearing the polka dot tie in tribute to Southgate today, but I mean, what an incredible run it's been so far. If win or lose, it's an incredible day for the team, isn't it?
Definitely. We just need to pace ourselves and keep our nerves going, because we're only, T minus 12?
Yeah, exactly
a lot
right.
More to go. Gavin, thank you.
Yeah, let's do the sums again. It's 12 hours and 18 minutes, I think.
Yep, and
Not
counting.
that we're counting, but yeah, we are counting. Now, what was it? About 15 minutes or so ago, we were talking, you'll have seen, to a makeup artist who had painted Gareth Southgate's face onto her own, as you do. Now we can speak to someone who has chosen a larger canvas to honour the England manager, plus a couple of the star players, her own house.
From Nuneaton, along with the artist who created...
Ros Atkins takes an in-depth look at one of the issues in the news.
And this week he's examining how Boris Johnson is dealing with lifting coronavirus restrictions.
Doors again because of rising cases. The UK government, though, keeps coming back to its vaccine rollout. That's the foundation of its decision. But the WHO is clear. The stakes remain high.
We would ask governments.
Then will the health service, the economy and the virus show us if it was the right decision.
very good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Chris Mason and Luxmy Gopal.
Our headlines today, can you guess? On the brink of history.
1966.
The nerves are jangling. In the build-up to the game, the Queen, the Duke of Cambridge and the Prime Minister have all sent messages of support. Ollie Foster reports from Wembley.
Players up those famous steps to the royal box at the old Wembley, where the Queen presented them with the World Cup. Her Majesty has sent a message.
So what's the vibe?
Here, the vibe is it's very much the calm, the sunny calm here at Wembley Stadium. You don't have one of those lucky tickets to get inside the stadium. There is some good news. Pubs are open later tonight until 11:50.
England fans, really the definitive football anthem.
How lovely feeling to kind of be on your social media and see choirs and...
Lost you there, Ian. Sorry, you've just cut out. Can you say that again?
Good and everything.
We've lost Ian there.
If you're going to appear live on the telly and you get a bit of a dodgy broadband moment, which, let's be honest, you know, we've all had our dodgy broadband moments during this pandemic. If the anthem for which you will ever be known is playing as an alternative, that's kind of
the right moment. I mean, I missed the chance to ask him to sing it for us because that would have been amazing. But maybe that's why he disappeared. That's why.
Live music. Let me just tell you, as he touched on there, Ian, the Lightning Seeds are playing this gig today in London at the 229 venue ahead of the final.
It'll be fantastic.
Right. So we go from a great song and part of the carnival atmosphere here to trying to get a sense really of what it must be like being inside the England camp when you've got a really big day coming up. Really big day is actually an understatement, isn't it? Let's get that perspective from Danny Mills.
Up front, Immobile, that are very, very good. Do what you normally do. And that's the biggest thing I can say about Gareth Southgate.
Ex-teammate, of course, of him. We've heard a lot about him in the
dressing room, you know, for training, last to leave.
Talk that up. And fingers crossed you're right. It was really nice to talk to you. Have a good day. Thanks for your time.
Well, you can't get clearer than that, can you?
No, exactly. Straight answer. I don't get that from the politicians at Westminster. I'd have got 45 seconds of waffle that didn't go anywhere near an answer.
Well, there you go. That's an answer you need. But do you know what, Chris? We are totally at risk of hyping too soon, peaking too soon, aren't we? We're still, 11 and a half hours to go, so we need to sustain this.
But beyond risk. We've absolutely...
We're too late, over
well
the
and
edge.
Truly, yeah, exactly. But if you can't get excited on a day like this, the sort of feel-good atmosphere, when can you?
Absolutely,
when can you?
Exactly. And it has, of course, been a magical few weeks for England fans. But tonight's final will also be a bittersweet moment for many who'll be watching the match while thinking of those who are no longer with us.
Breakfast Jane McCubbin went to meet one group of people who are determined to enjoy the occasion, just as their friend, husband and dad would have wanted to.
We used to use the walking to be on the phone. Anybody you wanted to talk to about, felt that I didn't want to watch the game, maybe. But then when Justin said, could you come over and talk, I thought, here he is again, making me celebrate my birthday and watch the final, which, yeah, absolutely. I like to think he's played his part so far.
And thank you to all of our contributors there who were willing to speak to us. We are very grateful. This is BBC Breakfast and it's just gone 8:30. Good morning to you.
Thank you for joining us. Now, millions of us will be glued to a screen tonight for the Euros final, obviously, and that includes patients at hospitals across England and a fair few of the staff as well, if their duties allow it.
Let's bring in our reporter Geeta Penze, who is at the University Hospital in Coventry.
Taste of what it is to see England win.
Oh. That's right. They've got to harness Chilesi, takes and defence.
Okay, well, been swept away.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think with the kind of community that we've kind of built with.
There we go. That's more like it. That's more like it. Really looks like a conductor of an orchestra.
Brilliant.
Thanks very much. See ya.
Yes, there you go. That's a good flag-waving technique that we've got there, haven't we? And, you know, it was lovely hearing from Rodney there, who talked about watching the 66 final. He said you won't know what it feels like until you see it. It just gets across the sense of history. You know, it's something that none of us have experienced. Isn't that right, Gavin?
Yeah, absolutely right. It's going to be a special day. But I have to say, you know, a lot of my Scottish and Welsh friends have said it's not coming home. It's actually going to Rome. I mean, they know who they are. They know who they are. Right.
And this theme of football being the Euros, fantastic opportunity for us to just be able to, you know, dance to this with our own version of it.
But the dance moves, you know, they're not the most straightforward. They're quite complex. How do you choreograph them to the Three Lions song?
Do you know what? It's all happened last minute. To be honest, we just got the guys together and all the people together, and we thought, we're going to have to do this now. England have made it, so...
Win any longer. It's a bit like the build-up, isn't it? There's going to be, what, about an hour and 40 minutes of it tonight. We've done a couple of minutes build-up to your big moment. Yes, another big moment, as we've been seeing. You've been performing on the streets and performing.
Come on, England. Bring it home. Let's go. Come on.
Hasn't got you hyped up for the game, I don't know what will. I wasn't expecting it to be so energetic, actually. That took me by surprise.
It was just absolutely fantastic. Let's
yeah, and Chris has been joining in. What you didn't see was Chris following the moves just now.
I've just ruined it, haven't I?
On an unrelated note, it's time to say goodbye to Chris. nothing to do with what happened just there. But Chris, you're off to read the news for Marr and change into his England kit. Which...
Indeed so. Yeah, I think I'll save Andrew Marr's audience any dancing, probably for the sake of my career, indeed.
Oh, well,
yes.
If Gareth Southgate's men chalk up another win tonight, it's going to become one of those where were you moments. Where were you when Chris was doing his dance just now? The last major one for England was, of course, in 1966, as we know. It's something that we've mentioned many times. And Jane McCubbin has been chatting to some fans who were there at Wembley to see it.
Few special flags as well. Some of the England flags got names on them.
Yep, names for the people that we've lost in the...
BBC Breakfast. Geraldine from the estate, come on, take the first kick for me.
The location, a moment memorable and historical. Now that it's way more than possible because it's lovely. Oh, it's coming home. Ask anyone.
Coming home.